What's up, anime fans? Today we're diving into that one isekai fantasy we all dream about, getting reincarnated and waking up as an absolute powerhouse. Forget grinding for levels or training arcs. These MCs came into their new worlds with cheat codes already installed. We're talking about protagonists who make overpowered look like an understatement. So let's count down the top 10 anime where the MC is reincarnated as the strongest prodigy. Number 10, Wise Man's Grandchild. Starting us off is Shin Wolford from Wise Man's Grandchild, and this guy basically speed ran becoming a god tier mage. After dying in a traffic accident, Shin gets reborn in a magical world and gets adopted by the legendary hero Merlin Wolford. Now here's where it gets wild. Because Shin kept his memories from Japan, he applies science to magic. While everyone else is casting basic fireballs, Shin's over here creating nuclear explosions because he understands molecular compression and chemical reactions. By the time he's 15, he's casually using voiceless incantation magic that took most mages decades to master. His signature move? A literal hydrogen bomb spell that creates a mushroom cloud. The guy can enchant clothing to make himself basically untouchable, create teleportation gates, and his weakest attacks are at Emperor class level. The only reason Merlin realized Shin needed to go to Magic Academy wasn't because he lacked power, it's because Grandpa forgot to teach him common sense. When your biggest weakness is not understanding how money works, you know you're OP. Number 9. Sword Art Online. Now I know what you're thinking. Kirito wasn't reincarnated, but hear me out. When Kirito entered Sword Art Online, he basically became a completely different person in a new reality, and that reality turned him into an absolute weapon. As a beta tester, he already had knowledge others didn't, but what really sets him apart is that unique skill, dual blades. In a game with 10,000 players, only one person could unlock dual blades, and it went to whoever had the fastest reaction time. That's Kirito. This skill gave him access to Starburst Stream, a 21-hit combo that absolutely decimates opponents, and Eclipse, a devastating 27-hit combo. When he revealed this against the Gleam Eyes on the 74th floor, everyone's jaws dropped, and that's not even mentioning his release recollection ability in the Alicization arc that unleashes black tendrils of pure destruction. The guy literally died fighting Kayaba and came back through sheer willpower. When you can survive deletion itself, you're not just strong, you're built different. Number 8, Overlord. Ainz Ooal Gown takes overpowered isekai protagonists to a whole new level because he's not just strong, he's a walking apocalypse. Originally a salary worker named Suzuki Satoru playing the VRM MO RPGYGGDRASIL, he gets trapped in the game world as his max level undead overlord character. And when I say max level, I mean he has access to over 700 different spells when most players could only learn 300. His arsenal is absolutely insane. Grasp Heart, he literally summons your heart and crushes it for an instant kill. True death, it's death that prevents resurrection. Reality Slash, it cuts through reality itself. Time Stop, he can freeze time and do whatever he wants. And that's just scratching the surface. He can summon armies of undead, cast super tier magic like EA Shub Niggurath that spawns eldritch horrors, and he has access to world-class items that can literally alter reality. The guy is so powerful that most of the new world considers him a god, and honestly, they're not wrong. Strategic class magic, instant death abilities, resurrection powers, Ainz has it all. Number 7, the Irregular at Magic High School. Tatsuya Shiba is what happens when you give someone god tier abilities but nerf them just enough to make it balanced. Except he's still ridiculously OP. Born with only 2 magical abilities, decomposition and regrowth. His family thought he was weak. Boy, were they wrong. Decomposition lets him break down anything at the molecular level. Magic spells, physical objects, even people. He can disintegrate it all into nothing. But here's the kicker. Regrowth growth is literally time manipulation. He can restore anything to a previous state, which means he's basically immortal because he can just rewind his own injuries. And when he combines both, he creates Material Burst, a strategic class magic that creates nuclear explosions by converting matter directly into energy. One attack can wipe out entire fleets and military bases. He's so dangerous that he's known as the Destroyer and God's left hand, Devil's right hand. The government literally uses him as a one-man nuclear deterrent. Despite being labeled as a weed or low-level student at his magic high school, Tatsuya is secretly one of the most powerful beings on the planet. Number 6. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Rudeus Greyrat is the OG modern isekai protagonist, and he set the bar high. After dying as a 34-year-old shut-in, Rudeus is reborn in a fantasy world and decides to actually try this time. What makes him special isn't just raw power, it's that he's a genius who innovates magic itself. From age 3, he's already casting intermediate level spells, and by age 5, he's invented his own techniques. His biggest flex, voiceless incantation. Most mages need to chant spells, which takes 5 to 60 seconds. Rudeus, he casts instantly. He can use multiple spells simultaneously with both hands, create melded magic by combining elements, and his signature move, Stone Cannon, has Emperor-class power despite being a basic earth spell. Oh, and he created a literal nuclear explosion spell by accident during his fight with Orsted. That's the level we're talking about. He's got the demon eye of foresight that lets him see 10 seconds into the future. He mastered disturb magic that can cancel enemy spells, and his mana capacity is greater than the demon god Lapis. The guy is so talented that even legendary figures like Dragon God Orsted acknowledge his potential. Number 5. Cautious Hero. Seiya Ryuguin takes the concept of overpowered and cranks it to 11, then multiplies it by paranoia. Summoned to save a world with a relatively low difficulty rating, Seiya was already blessed with insane stats. But here's what makes him special. He doesn't trust his own power, so what does he do? He trains until he's literally 100 times stronger than necessary for every single encounter. Fighting slime, he'll max out his stats first and use atomic split slash followed by Hell's Fire multiple times just to make absolutely sure it's dead. Facing a demon lord, he's prepared 50 different backup plans and enough firepower to destroy the continent twice over. His signature move Atomic Split Slash can cut through enemies with devastating earth attribute power. He's got maximum inferno for creating massive explosive pillars of fire, Meteor Strike to summon meteorites that can obliterate entire armies of 10,000 undead, and Phoenix Drive for rapid fire sword strikes. The guy is so cautious that he'll check if his weapon is poisoned 3 times before using it, and so overprepared that he can solo demon lords that were meant to require an entire hero party. The best part? His caution is exactly why he's unstoppable. When you're paranoid enough to prepare for every possible scenario, nothing can surprise you. Number 4. Solo leveling. Okay, technically Sung Jinwoo wasn't reincarnated in the traditional sense, but he did get a complete rebirth through the system after literally dying, so he absolutely counts. Starting as humanity's weakest E-rank hunter, Jinwoo gets a second chance when he's selected by the system. A game-like interface that lets him level up infinitely, while everyone else is stuck at their awakened power level. Within months, he goes from barely surviving low-level dungeons to soloing S-rank gates that usually require entire teams of elite hunters. His shadow extraction ability is absolutely broken. He can create an army from every powerful enemy he defeats. We're talking 10,000 plus shadow soldiers, including ancient dragons, demon kings, and legendary warriors. By the endgame, his shadow commanders Baru, Igris, and Bellion could each conquer entire nations solo. He's got the ruler's authority that lets him teleport objects and freeze enemies in place, can move through shadows for instant teleportation, and his pure physical stats are so ridiculous he can casually throw buildings and punch through dimensions. The progression from weakest hunter to fighting interdimensional god-level monarchs is legitimately one of the hardest power climbs in anime. Number 3. The Eminence in Shadow. Sid Kaganu is what happens when you give a Chunabayo actual power, and it's glorious. In his previous life in Japan, he was obsessed with becoming the ultimate background mastermind. After dying and reincarnating in a fantasy world, he finally gets his chance to live out his delusions. But here's the twist. While Sid thinks he's just LARPing and making up an evil organization called Shadow Garden for fun, everything he makes up accidentally turns out to be real. As Shadow, he's an absolute monster in combat. He developed his own fighting style by compressing magic into an impossibly thin blade coating, giving him attacks that can slice through literally anything. His signature move, I Am Atomic, can cut apart nuclear level explosions and obliterate everything in a massive radius with beautiful precision. He's fast enough to appear as after images, strong enough to one-shot dragon level threats, and his magic control is so precise he can perform surgery with compressed magic blades. The running joke is that he's so powerful that the world itself bends reality to make his delusional rants come true. When your fake backstory becomes prophecy and your improvised plans accidentally save the world, you're not just strong, you're living in a simulation designed for your success. Moving into the top 2, we've got Ainz Ooal Gown, who took overpowered isekai protagonists to a whole new dimension. Let me expand on why he deserves this spot. While other protagonists are learning magic, Ainz already mastered over 700 different spells, more than double what max level players could normally learn, thanks to his unique ability Dark Wisdom. His toolkit is genuinely terrifying. Instant death spells like Grasp Heart and True Death, time manipulation with Time Stop, reality warping with Reality Slash, and super tier magic that can summon eldritch horrors or reshape entire battlefields. He can resurrect himself, create armies of high-level undead, and wields world-class items that can alter reality itself. The most insane part? He has complete immunity to fire, poison, death magic, and countless other elements just from his equipment. Strategic class magic, perfect warrior transformation, and the ability to see through divination magic. Ainz's power is so vast that entire nations treat him as an actual god. He casually conquered kingdoms, and his presence alone can drive people insane through his despair aura. That's not just overpowered, that's transcendent. And finally, at number 1, it's Rimuru Tempest, and honestly, this isn't even close. Rimuru represents the absolute peak of what a reincarnation protagonist can become, starting as a 37-year-old office worker who dies and wakes up as a slime. Literally the weakest monster in most fantasy settings, Rimuru's growth is absolutely insane. From day 1, he had Predator, which lets him devour anything and copy its abilities. He befriended and absorbed Veldora, a catastrophe class true dragon, gaining storm magic and becoming nearly unkillable. His great sage ability evolved into Raphael, Lord of Wisdom, basically a supercomputer AI that can instantly analyze and recreate any skill or magic it encounters. When he became a true demon lord, his magical capacity increased tenfold, and he gained ultimate skills like Beelzebub that can devour skills, isolate abilities, and even manipulate space-time. But wait, it gets crazier. He has infinite regeneration, making him immortal, magic sense that perceives everything, Megiddo that rains light-speed water droplets to annihilate armies, and universal thread that can bind anything. Later in the series, he evolves again into a true dragon. Originally, there were only 4 true dragons in existence: Veldanava, Velzard, Velgrind, and Veldora, and Rimuru becomes the 5th, putting him alongside the most ancient and powerful beings in the universe. He can manipulate reality, control space and time, has an army of demon lords and dragons serving him, and built an entire nation from scratch. Rimuru went from the weakest monster to a being that rivals gods. That's the ultimate reincarnation power fantasy, and that's why he's number 1. And there you have it, 10 anime where being reincarnated means instant access to God mode. These MCs didn't just get second chances, they got cheat codes to existence itself. Which overpowered reincarnation is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more anime content. Until next time, keep dreaming about your own isekai adventure.